Hey guys, well, we made it week 3. I just realized too that when we organize this that it's obviously a public holiday. So for those of you that are on a public holiday and you're here, how's that for commitment? I just want to say, I'm impressed and I appreciate your time, and I really hope that John and I can deliver some great information again today. But before we get started, I just want to confirm that everyone can hear me. If you can just click on raising your hand so I can see that you are. And as I can see people's hands raising, but let's get started. So again, welcome to part 3 today. Today we're going to start going through how to create and set up your new team member and sign up your new franchisee properly and 100%, because I know there's a little uncertainty around that. And we're also going to go through how to effectively train them so you can begin to leverage your Juice Plus business. And today I'm excited to be going through today because this is probably one of the things I'm asked about most is setting up and training your downline. I think right now in our team overall, it's definitely one of the weaknesses. I know that in week 1 we spoke about the nutrition assessment process and your Google contact list, absolutely critical for your success. If you're not yet doing those and you're here today, then there's definitely questions you probably should be asking yourself about, how serious you are about your Juice Plus. Then obviously last week we had the opportunity to go through and setting up your event structure and then the close, and also how to begin marketing that. I have noticed that I haven't seen a lot of people's links yet to their events, which I'm surprised. If everyone can please follow up on that and all the team leaders. So what we're going to go through in a moment is I'm going to hand you over to John, and John's going to go through the actual process on how to, I know some of this will be revision for you guys, but I think it will be important. John's going to go through with you guys today. He's going to go through with you guys today on how to sign up your new franchisees properly, how to introduce them to the team, and then I'm going to go through how to effectively train them, and John's going to give you some feedback as well. So without further ado, I know that it is a public holiday, so see if we can keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter today, and hopefully not, finish off in around 40 odd minutes. I have recorded this, and I will be creating a recording, and you will have access to it over the next few weeks. And there's a few people that couldn't make it, but I'm going to hand you over to John now. Hey John, how are you going?
Very well, Jason. How are you?
I'm good. You enjoying your long weekend?
I am. Rating at about 80% today. I'll be a little bit slower than usual, but enjoying my time, mate.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to mute myself, and you should be able to share your screen. Yep, I can see your screen now. I'll hand it over to you.
Terrific. All right, guys. As Jason said, quite a bit of this hopefully will still be fresh in some of your minds. I know there's some good team growth going on. And so you will have been through some of these processes, but always good to have a little bit of revision for those that have done it. And there are, of course, new franchisees that don't have team members yet, so you won't have been through this, and this will be particularly useful for you guys. So just before we get underway, I just want to reinforce what Jason's saying, the importance of training. In our business, guys, that there really is only probably a dozen simple things we need to learn, and we need to duplicate those things. Our whole business is built on the premise of building a customer base with Juice Plus over time and duplicating that out with other people. That's how we grow our customer base overall in our business. So really, I mean, the long and the short of it is the things that you've been through from the day that you started with your Juice Plus business. I know it's a bit of a whirlwind of activity, but what we want to do is just capture those basic things that you guys have learned and then duplicate that out through others. So the Team JP system, guys, the Team JP University, I built this with the understanding that we really could be training, up to thousands of people, I guess, both in Australia and worldwide in English-speaking countries, and I wanted to make it as easy and duplicatable as possible. So we built this platform which really covers all of the training and provides you with a single point of reference to go to and find all of your answers. It allows you to sort of log in and get to your answers when you need to. Obviously, as PTs, you're all busy, and all of our hours are different during the day. So the online platform is a really, really important one to get to know very well, guys. And with that, I'm going to get started with registering a new team member. The first thing that you want to do is come into Team JP University, and under Menu 2, the Basics, you'll see that Section 2.3 is Building Your Team. And if we go down to the bottom of 2.3, you'll see 2.3.5, Starting a New Team Member. And 2.3.5a, Registering a New Team Member Correctly. So guys, that's the one that you want to go to first, and that will give you instruction on everything that you need to do to register your team member correctly. And I'll click on here to show you what that post goes through. There's basically just a little bit of an introduction, and I've covered that off already today. And the important bit is the correct registration procedure. So point 1, it says register your new team member online using your virtual office, and there is a live link here, guys. If you haven't registered a team member yet, you can click on this link and it will take you to another post which teaches you how to use the virtual office to register your team member, basically what you need to do. So I'm not going to go through the detail in this today, that's not necessary, it's all written here for you. And all you need to do, guys, is just follow the clear instruction that is in this post. And obviously also when your team are doing this, you need to take them through this as well and make sure that they're doing these steps. Now this video will help you to do that, that's why Jason and I are recording these, so that you can simply point your new franchisee off to some of the information to help train them. So it's about efficiency, guys, and leverage. So going back to the correct registration procedure, obviously we now have them registered and in the system. The next thing, guys, is you need to place their Juice Plus order. Okay, we do that as part of the registration process at the same time. It only takes about 3 minutes to register someone online as a new franchisee, and it takes around about the same time to actually place their order. Now, what you need to be aware of is that you can't place their personal order under their license number at this stage because they're so new that the company hasn't licensed them yet. Okay, you've only just sent the details through to head office, so they won't have been assigned a license number. So the way we do it is we actually place their order under our license number as though they're a customer of ours, and then we send an email through to head office simply to ask them to change that order over into the license number of the new franchisee when it's assigned. And guys, that is covered in point 2. It says you send an email to N. Harley, that's Natalie Harley, so that's Natalie at head office looks after this part of our business. And all you need to do is just one line asking them to transfer the order with the name of the person into their license. So that's that step. Step number 3, guys, once you've done that, is you need to send an email to loginsupport@teamjp.org with the name of your new person. And the reason for that is so that they can be assigned their username and password to Team JP University. Now, Login Support will actually send an email back to you, and I'm just going to bring that email up. So hopefully you can see that on my screen now. And this is the email that you'll receive from the Login Support team, just congratulating you on your new team member. They will have the username and password in this area here for you, so you'll know what they are. And there's also some instruction in this email, guys, as to what you should be doing with your new franchisee over their first 4 days. So very briefly, on day 1, once you've licensed them, you need to send them a copy of the Getting Started email. Okay, and there is a link directly to this Getting Started email text here. So if you have an old Getting Started email, or if you're not sure if you have the current one, just click on that link, guys, and that will open up a document for you, which will then show you what the correct text is to have in that email. And when you click on that link, this is what will come up, and all you need to do, guys, is just copy this text and paste it into an email. Now, once you've done that and sent it to a franchisee, obviously it's going to be stored in your sent items, and you can just forward it from there to any new franchisee. Obviously, what you want to be aware of is point 1 here is their username and password. So remember, going back to the login support email that you'll get, you have their username and password up in the top section here. So when you send them the Getting Started email, you need to make sure that you change the username and password highlighted in yellow here to those that have been given to you by the login support team. So we'll go back to the login support email. So you're going to send them that Getting Started email. You're going to make sure that they've paid the deposit on the annual national conference ticket. That's a protocol that the leadership have now set up to make sure that people are locked into their annual national conference. By the way, guys, Conference 2014 is going to be massive. We've got a lot of new senior positions coming through in the company. We've got obviously Jason as well. We're very excited about. He'll be a national marketing director for the next one, and we want to have a big crowd there, guys, with lots of excitement. So this is a part of the licensing process now. Point number 3 is to make a copy of the template Google Contacts list. Okay, guys, you all know what that is now. You should be using that. And obviously, when you have a new franchisee, you need to copy the template Google Contact list, make one for them, and send that off to them and instruct them on how to use that. Now, again, that's been covered in the video training. So you guys have got it very easy, and it's getting easier all the time to train people because of the resources that we have. If you click on the link that's shown there, that will take you to a document which has all of the instructions. I'll just allow that to load up. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'll keep that going while we move on with the other parts of the webinar. The instructions, guys, if you want, they are also available in our One Team, One Mission group on Facebook. If you go to the Files section, you can download the instructions on how to make a copy of that Google contact list and get it to your franchisee. On day 1 is to somebody on the inside, and I agree with it as well. We don't need to get 150 names down, guys, on day 1. Obviously, we've spoken about this. As long as we get a good start, if we get 50 to 60 names down, that's certainly enough to get started. Now, a couple of things. The annual national conference here, and the detail there for that. They're also asked to click on this link here for the national conference ticket, and what that does, that actually brings up an image of the conference ticket that they can then print out and stick to their fridge. Important to do that because it just serves as a reminder of that event and when it's on. Point 1 then obviously gives them their login details for Team JP University and gives them a link to Team JP University. Point 2 asks them to add you to Facebook if they're not already a friend of yours on Facebook. Obviously here it says add me, but you need to change this to whatever your Facebook profile is so they can add you as a friend. And then we have a link to the Getting Started PDF. Now, if you haven't seen that before, guys, that's a very basic document. It basically has 4 steps on the left-hand side running through some of these things that we've already run through. And then on the right-hand side, it actually talks about the 818 program. Now, you guys should know what that program is by now. If not, then you can always ask a question in either Jason's group or in One Team, One Mission. But the 818 is the Senior Direct Express Track program, guys, and all franchisees start on that program. It's a very simple one, obviously been very successful through Jason's team and through our team overall. The next point there says follow the instructions in the first step section of the Getting Started PDF. I would open that up, guys, but the bandwidth doesn't allow us to do that. Obviously, we end up not being able to speak. So I won't do that, but I will get you to do that in your own time and just have a good look through that. It says follow the instructions in the first steps, and then any questions relating to the product knowledge training. What you want to do, guys, is obviously a first part of the startup, and we're going back to the process email in Team JP University, but we need to take them through their product knowledge, and that comes in on day 2 once you've got these basic setup steps done. And it says here we've got 60 days from today to complete our 818 Express Track program. So guys, again, I guess this is just a text version of what you guys have already been through. So the problem is when we put things in text, it can look a little bit wordy, but I just want everyone to relax and understand that, again, there's only about 6 simple things here, guys, that we have to learn. So if we learn them and duplicate them well, you'll be off to a flyer. Point 4 here says I'll be sending you your Google contact list shortly, okay, and obviously that's a message coming through that and obviously the asterisk date in the calendar for the conference. Okay, so that's the Getting Started email, guys. It's pretty basic. Going back to the support email that you get from the login team. So we've gone through day 1 and we're in day 2 with our new person. So the next thing is to take them through their basic product knowledge. Okay, and there is a link to that product knowledge here just as a reminder for you where to send them. Okay, and it obviously goes to the right post just so that you know where that is in Team JP University. It actually takes them to menu 1.2 product training. Okay, so again, very simple systems, guys. Everything is written. The training is basically virtually done for you. You just need to know where to go, and these emails are telling you what it is that you need to do and pointing you in the right direction. So we want to give them the day 2 to go through that little bit of reading. It's really not much, guys. I mean, Juice Plus is just fruits and veggies in capsules. We know it works. There's only about a dozen questions that anyone asks, and all of the Q&A, the questions and answers that typically come up, all of that information and training is about for. So we want to go through that stuff. And if they have any additional questions, guys, what the Facebook groups are for, they should be leaving their questions in those Facebook groups, particularly if you're training or starting a couple of franchisees or many franchisees at the same time. Obviously, all franchisees are going to have the same questions. So what we want to do, the group forums are great because they allow you to start multiple people, and if somebody asks a question in there, you're then answering that question for everyone, so you don't have to answer the question over and over. So that's day 2, guys. It's just about taking them through their basic product knowledge and answering any questions that they have. Then on day 3, and by the way, day 1, okay, a lot of times I'll wrap day 2 and day 3 into one. Somebody rips through their basic product knowledge reading very quickly. They don't really have any more questions, and we can get them straight into then the training on how to set up the follow-up correctly and how to close strongly. Again, there is a link there, guys, pointing directly to the post on Team JP University to the follow-up training. Okay, and just so that you know again where that is, under menu 2, the basics, building your team, you'll see 2.3.3 follow-up, and it points them to 2.3.3a, setting the follow-up and close correctly, or effectively rather. So, you know, there's 2 ways to access this stuff, guys, as you get to know your Team JP Uni and what's available for you to help you train. Obviously, you'll know it like I do, but in the meantime, you don't need to. You can just refer to the email that comes to you, and it points you directly to where you need to go. You can just copy that email out, if you like, and post it in an email or in a message on Facebook directly to your new team member. So that's day 2 and 3, or if you like, just wrap those two together into day 2. And day 4, guys, is when you want them to begin working through their Juice Plus contact list, sharing Juice Plus and booking follow-ups. Now there's a very good reason for that. Obviously you'll have experience now with the Express Track program. You understand that the company wants all of the franchisees to start doing really well quickly and becoming profitable quickly. So making sure that we just do these simple things, we empower and equip our new franchisees to do the job of sharing Juice Plus well and following up well, obviously gives them the results. It helps us build our business, and it makes sure that everyone's getting off to a great start. There's a lot of excitement in the team. So that's where we're at with that. You'll notice that point A says that they're underway on their 818 Express Track program, and guys, it's the sponsor's responsibility to help them to achieve that. Okay, it's not just a matter of signing up somebody, telling them to go and do an 818 and then leaving them to their own devices. The reason that Jason and I are so strong on training is because we know when people are equipped properly and we're working together as a team, that's when the results really come. And so it's really important, guys, that you take a bit of ownership of that. And I'll tell you how the company helps us to do that. When you successfully take a franchisee through their 818 Express Track program, the company will pay you a $300 bonus as well as the team member who's achieved it. Okay, that's just the company letting us know that they understand that there's a little bit of our time involved in training and helping that person, and because of that, they're going to pay us the bonus as well, and fair enough. So once they're underway, guys, and they're sharing Juice Plus with their contacts and working through their contact list, you do have a responsibility also to make sure that your team member, your franchisee, is working effectively and working properly. Okay, and you'll know that the Google contact list is a live document online. That means that you can go in and check that contact list every day. Okay, and you should be doing that, and there are 2 numbers on that contact list you need to be checking. One of them is the customer contact ratio, which actually tells you day to day if they've made new contacts, if they've shared Juice Plus with more people. You'll see that number going up, and obviously that's what you want to be seeing. And the second one, guys, is the customer conversion ratio. So we've spoken about this before. We know that the worldwide, the yield number that we get is 20 to 30%. 2 to 3 out of every 10 people we speak to about Juice Plus will become your customer. So knowing that just allows you to get through the numbers and get your customer base in. Now, the exciting thing for PTs, guys, is that that number is actually quite a lot higher. It actually sits around 50 to 60% on average. So 5 to 6 out of every 10 people you speak to about Juice Plus will become. So the great thing about that is you can build your customer base, you can build your qualified business faster, and obviously if you're duplicating these simple systems, teaching people well what to do, then you can expect that to also happen in your team, and that's where the great growth and leverage comes from. So that's the checking that you should be doing. Also, guys, there is a second tab on the Google contact list, which is the qualifying chart. When they actually register a new customer, they need to click on that second tab and just add the name of that customer into the qualifying chart. Okay, again, that will keep them on track for their 40 customers, so that you know and they know how many customers they have on the way to their qualified business. So guys, that's the full support email that comes from the login support team. You can see that it's comprehensive. It tells you exactly what you need to do. So there really shouldn't be any questions on using this or on what you need to do. No one should be stuck. So I'm just going to close that down. This is just an example, guys. The email that goes through to head office, to Natalie Harley, about the order, franchisee. It doesn't need to be a novel, just one line. Please transfer the personal customer order, which is under my license, to the license number of the new franchisee and the new franchisee's name, so that they can become their own first customer. Okay. So what else have we got here? Okay, in the login support email, guys, which I've just closed down, but you will see in the files and attachments area, you'll see a PDF in there, and the PDF is the new team member training program PDF. Okay, so what we've done here, we've just put together another PDF document which covers off some things that you should look at doing with your new franchisee. Okay, and again, very clearly, it tells you what this training does to achieve for your new team member, what you need to do as the sponsor or the mentor. It allows you to tick boxes. I like tick boxes, so we can be accountable to whether or not we've actually done this work. And it points you to the training that's required to be done by that new person. So then you can check with them, have you done the training, yes or no, and tick the box appropriately. So guys, this is just an additional layer over and above. If you want to be a really, really good sponsor, then you're going to open this PDF and make sure that you've just covered off these 2 pages as well. Just close that down. And we'll go back into Team JP University. And hopefully you guys are still able to hear me. The computer seems to be running a little slow. Jason, can I just check with you that sound is still coming through at your end?
Yep, that's not a problem. It's been a couple of times, but it's normal, so that's fine. We'll keep going.
Okay, thanks, mate. So going back to the correct registration procedure, guys, the post that's on Team JP University, we now get through the email to login support. We've gone through that. The week 1 training program guide, that's that PDF that's included in that login support email that we just looked at. We've talked about sending them the getting started email, and we've gone through that. And this last section here is just a reminder on National Conference again, guys. So that's basically that training post. And the link here, the correct registration procedure, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that that takes you through to the link back to the virtual office, which teaches you how to get them set up properly. So guys, in terms of how the process works for setting up a new franchisee, getting their order into the system, sending that information off to the login support team, receiving their details, making the changes in the getting started email and sending it through to them, and obviously getting them started on their Express Track program. We've covered all of that information today. You can see I've taken time to do that, and it's still only taken us about 10 minutes or so to get through that. But really, guys, it's up to you now to have a look at these few posts that we're pointing you to and actually read through the information that's coming to you from the login support team and just get to know those few processes really well. Once you know them like the back of your hand, guys, you won't need to be referencing anything. It'll just come very easily to you, and you'll really start to see how the system ties together to walk your franchisee through that early startup process. Jason, I'm just going to throw back to you. I'm not sure if I've covered everything that you wanted me to cover, so I'll just ask that question. Have we been through everything that you wanted me to cover?
Yeah, no, that's great, John. I think today, the intention for today was to begin to structure and formalize, I guess, a model or structure for these guys to teach and train effectively over a month, 2 months, 3 months, their team and their downline. So I guess a big part of this, guys, is that up until now, I know me personally, I've been attempting to. I believe that you can only manage a certain amount of people effectively at a time, or be a team leader of a certain amount of people at a time. And as your team grows, you need to have higher level team leaders within your team. And those of you, I know most of you main team leaders of mine personally, anyway, are here listening today. And I know this is John Pilato's philosophy as well, is that the whole idea is to focus on your individual team leaders, your front line, then also on the, I know that John has I know John also has a philosophy on working with the new people at the very bottom as well, John. Do you just want to share briefly about that as well? At the very bottom as well, John.
Yeah, sure, Jason. There's, you know, guys, in our business, one of the things that Jason just touched on that's really important is the grooming, if you like, of you know, leaders that you can trust to do things the right way, that you've empowered to do the simple things very well. And guys, this is all about passive income and leverage of time. Remember, the team is only as strong as the weakest link, and that will be true of your business as well. You can imagine some of you guys are doing things, you know, really, really well in the early days of your business, and because of that, you're off to an absolutely flying start. So it's not a very far reach for you guys until I've got good people in my team, and I invest a bit of time in them, and I train them in some really simple systems, and they can duplicate what I'm doing. Then obviously there's going to be great leverage that comes from that. So as your team grows, you can understand that. Imagine now that you have 3 or 4, maybe 5 generations, if you like, or levels of team members that are growing in your business. And as Jason said, we can only really work effectively, you know, with a certain number. I find that once I get beyond 20, it's a bit of a stretch, and that's why I like to do things in groups. But there's a rule, guys, in business that says, you know, when you're looking at, as a leader, at how we should spend our time, we should be spending 80% of our time with the leaders, and those leaders represent 20% of our team. Okay, 1 in 5 team members that you have will be really, really strong. There'll be people that you want to groom, right, as leaders in your business to help you grow your business overall. And then we spend 20% of our time with the other 80% of our team. And how we do that, guys, is obviously in things like the Facebook groups, in webinars and in live events that we might do, either to present Juice Plus to help them grow their customers, or maybe we're doing some team training. So that's how we effectively spend our time. So the strongest place, guys, or the smartest place that you can work in any line of your business is always at the lowest point in your business line with the hottest, most excited and capable person. Okay, and Jason and I have spoken about this before, and I teach on this. I want you to imagine, guys, a skyscraper, and you've been assigned with the task of demolishing that skyscraper or setting fire to it, if you like. Now, what you'll know is that if you're going to set fire to a skyscraper, there's no use setting fire to the penthouse, okay, because all that will happen is the penthouse will burn, okay, and the rest of the building will stay as it is. If we really want to set fire to it, and make sure that the whole thing catches alight, we want to set fire in the basement. And by doing that, setting that fire in the basement, guys, every floor above ends up catching fire. So I want you to think about that when you think about your Juice Plus business, and remember that if you have a team member down 2, 3, 4 levels in your business, and they're a real strong candidate, and you love working with them, and they really want the Juice Plus business the way you do, well, training them to be really effective and powerful in these systems so that they can grow. The volume, guys, that you're creating down there with that leader actually counts in the volume turnover of all of the people upline in that line as well. So just assume for a moment that you're in my front line and I'm working in your business and I'm down line 2 or 3 levels from you. And we have a great franchisee down there that's taken on the systems. They've gone Senior Direct Express Track in their first few weeks. They're now working towards Sales Coordinator. Okay, and I come back to you and I say, well, congratulations, you've got a new Sales Coordinator downline from you. They're creating a lot of volume. And when you look at your business report, all of the volume, guys, that's been created down there is also showing up in your report. And it's showing up in the reports of the team members between you on my front line and that new person downline. So what do you think that might do for the team members that are sort of in between? Well, obviously, guys, when you've got team members that might be moving a little bit slower or they haven't quite got it yet, but you're pointing them to their business report and showing them that their business is growing, I promise you that the right people will actually then step up and become really interested. And now you're going to create a whole lot of momentum and crazy excitement in your team. simply because you're down there working with the most capable person getting the job done. Jason, I think that I've covered that point.
Awesome, thanks for that, John. I just want to confirm that everyone can see my screen. Can you see my screen there, John? Yeah, I can see it anyway. That's fine. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of people, thanks very much for that, John. I'm just going to pop you on mute so there's no extra noise. So I've had a couple of people send through a couple of questions. Now I know that you guys are obviously been listening for a while already. I'm just going to wrap it up over the next 5 to 10 minutes. It's really important that you stay tuned for the next 10 minutes as I cover the structure on what to go through when. So I just want to recap on what John went through. So obviously he's setting up, first of all, with your virtual office, he's setting up so, you know, you've got to the point where somebody has said, you know, I want to start as a Juice Plus franchisee, what do I do? Okay, the first thing you do is obviously you get all the details and you sign them up, okay? Now, if you haven't signed somebody up before, I want to invite you to contact your team leader or the person above you to help you through it. And if you are a team leader, anyone you sign up, I want you to be there for the first time that they do anything. The first customer, you know, when I have a franchisee that they sign up their first franchisee or their first customer, I like to be on the phone and talk them through it so I know that they feel comfortable doing it. Customer is pretty easy. I know Alexia and a couple of other you guys had questions about websites and so forth. So when you first sign somebody up, obviously you're signing them up into My Team Data and add new franchisee in here, which is pretty straightforward, and then transferring it. And then also you need to go to My Customers here and submit custom order. For those, remember, that have children, you could submit the child health study order here. You just need the child's age, date of birth, and name. And also there's a question Stephen O'Brien the other day had, but when you submit a new customer order, what if they're not in Australia? Well, when you go to submit order, you'll see up here, you can change the country. So you can change the country here to whatever country it might be, and you can submit that order for that person. Okay. So what we want to do is there is a 6-week training program that you want to take all your new franchisees through. Okay. When you first sign them up, you'll have your team leader take you through. Okay, and make sure that you sign them up as a franchisee, order their product and transfer it, send the email to login support. You'll then forward them their welcome letter. So your new franchisee will receive a welcome email from login support for their virtual office. Okay, but you'll be responsible for sending them their welcome letter for their password and login details for the Team JP Uni. Then what you're going to do is you're going to book them in, worst case, within, this is additional to what John's already gone through, remember. You're going to schedule them in, worst case, within 5 business days because they're already on the clock for their fast track. You're going to schedule them in for 30 to 45 minutes and you're going to go through week 1. If you guys want to each grab pen and paper, I'm just going to go through each week basic structure. I'll also post this in the groups later so that way you have an outline of each week what you're going to cover. The first thing, what you're going to do is before each session, before each of the first 6 sessions that you're going to catch up with with your new downline, which will just be one-on-one unless you've signed up 2, 3, 4 people in one go, like we often do, is you're going to get them to go through and read the whole point 1 in the Team JP Uni. So getting started, get them to read the whole 1 and 2 sections, get them to read all that. You're also going to send them the video. There's 3 video links already that you have. You're going to send them the videos with the information for the nutrition assessment process and the Google contact list. So these 6 videos that you'll have access to, which we're going through now, will actually form the videos that you'll send to your new franchisee before their next training session with you, so they've already been exposed to the information. So that way when you share it with them, teach them, take them through it, it's easier for them to absorb it and remember it. That's what these videos are there for. You're going to send them these videos, you'll have access to the links, I'll post them in the groups. You've already got the first 3 and the rest will come. So what you're going to go through, this is week 1. Before I go through that, actually, I know Alexia was asking, and a couple of people have asked where they set up your person's website. So week 1, the structure is going to be, obviously, you're going to show them how to set up their own website. And what you do is you get them to log into their virtual office there and then. You go to personal file at the top here, personal profile, and simply go to myjuiceplus.com.au. If you've already got yours set up, your screen will look slightly different to theirs because they haven't set theirs up. They can obviously personalize it. You get them to choose a template, I like these athlete ones here, and then generate the home page. To ensure that they have got their website set up, what I actually do is I actually get them to send me their link as well, just from Facebook, whatever, so I can see their website, so that way I know it's 100% set up before we continue on. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. So if you want to jot this down, this is the first 6 weeks. Okay, week 1 in your first training session, which they would have already watched the video for, you're going to show them around Team JP Uni. So show them Team JP Uni. Okay, you're going to help them set up their website. Another part of the reason why I'm getting you to write this down is because when you write this down, you engage and incorporate neurology, it's going to ingrain into your unconscious more as well. So week 1, Team JP Uni, setting up their website, signing up customers. So how to sign up customers. Remember, their first customer, you're going to walk them through on the phone. The nutrition assessment process, or as I call it, the nut-ass process, and the forms they need for that. Remember, there's 4 forms they need on their virtual office, which means you'll also show them the virtual office. And last but definitely not least is the Google contact list. Remember, with each weekly training, you're going to give them an action item. Their action item for the first week is going to be, if they're a personal trainer, they're going to put all their clients into the Google contact list and update that for you. If they're not, then you're going to get them to make a list of everybody and anybody they know, hopefully with at least 30 to 50 people on there. So that's their first action item. So essentially what we're taking you through now over this 6 weeks is exactly what you're going to take them through. Okay. I've just posted the week 1 checklist in the JG's Juice Plus team if you want the checklist as well. So that's week 1. At the end of that session, 30 to 45 minutes, you then book them in for week 2. You send them the video for week 2. You might remember week 2 is setting up, creating the event. So setting up the event, if you've got a pen there, week 2, is you're going to show them using the Team JP Uni how to create their PowerPoint, how to create their event. So the first one is event creation. Then also going to show them how to do the close, go through how to do the close as we did. They would have watched the video, they've got the videos there, you can just go through those. You'll also show them how to set up their 3-week marketing campaign. So event creation, then the close, then the 3-week marketing campaign. You'll then show them how to enter that onto the Google Calendar, on the calendar, which is the communal calendar. Okay, and also the forms needed for that, so the forms they need for the event. So that's week 2. And again, if you want any help or have any questions, you can ask your team leader. I'm just going to post them as a checklist again in the group. So you can see there, week 2. I just want to add as well that obviously when you add a new franchisee, remember to add them to your Team Leader Juice Plus thread, the JG's team, and also the Juice Plus one that John Pilato has created as well. Okay. That brings us to week 3. So at the end of week 2, then what you'll do is you'll send them a video to what we're going through today, which is actually how to set up a new franchisee and how to train them. So hopefully by the 3rd week they're getting to that point where we can do that. What I'd like to go through with you guys over the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk a little bit about how to upsell all your customers and upgrade them to franchisees. We're going to cover that as well. That's something that you can definitely cover with them. So week 3 in your checklist, if you're writing this down, hopefully you're writing this down if you're serious. Week 3 is how to sign up a new franchisee, which is what we're going through today. Okay. Adding them to the Facebook group, so obviously showing them to add them to the JG's Juice Plus thread. Your team leader, Stephen O'Brien, Matt Vincent, Tyler Coates, Glenn Harmon, or Joshua Haswell, who are my 5 main frontline guys, and also to John Pilato's one as well. Next, you're going to talk to them about the 6-week training program, which is what we're going through now. Now, I understand we've only gone through 3 weeks of it, but you're going to touch base and let them know what you're going to go through over the upcoming next 3 weeks, which by then you would have gone through, and again, you'll have videos for. Finally, what happens after the 6 weeks? What happens after the 6 weeks? Which is probably a question that's going through your mind. I just want to say that after the 6 weeks, what you want to do is you want to funnel everyone into a weekly group Juice Plus catch-up with all of your main guys, your main frontline. So if you've got 20 people on your frontline, then they'll all be in that main group. And it's accountability session to make sure everything is being refined. So once you set up all the systems, they need to be followed up and then refined. So you can see week 3 sign up. I've just posted in the group, in the thread rather. Week 3, sign up a new franchisee, add to Facebook group, 6-week training program, and then what happens after the 6 weeks. And again, you'll have access to videos for all of these as well, and so will they. Then you'll send them the video for week 4. Now, week 4, we're going to keep going through the business stuff. We're going to talk about reading the reports. So next week, we're actually going to show you, John and I, especially John, how to read all the reports on your virtual office. So I'm just going to post that in the Juice Plus thread on Facebook. The week 4, we're going to go through reading the reports, and there's 3 main reports on your virtual office that John and I will go through next week. How to read and understand and go through and look at your organizational structure or your genealogy or tree, which is probably my favorite part, seeing that grow. Your 12-month report and how to look at that, and also your PV growth report as well, which I know is John's favorite, and he's going to go through his strategy on how he uses that. And I understand that John believes that to be the most important, powerful tool from a business perspective. Those that want a real business with Juice Plus, this is where the business side of things comes in. To have a successful business, we need to know that it's profitable. To know that it's profitable, we need to be able to read reports and understand them. Not only understand them, but we need to be able to see trends. We need to be able to see weaknesses. We need to be able to determine what we need to work on to get ourselves to the next club level, or to get ourselves to the next bonus level, or to keep ourselves in the fast track, or to work out, who are the people that are close to becoming qualified that we need to focus on. Okay. All right, that's not a problem, Tyler. Tyler's going to leave. We're about to wrap it up. So that's week 4. Okay. Then week 5, really simple. What week 5 is going to be about is you're going to train them on the compensation plan. Okay, I've just posted there the compensation plan. Again, 2 weeks from today, especially John will be going through and explaining exactly how the compensation plan works, how you make money, how you run as a business, and also the club levels and how they work. I know a lot of people have questions about how do I go, the 818, the sales coordinator, senior sales, what do I need, what volume, what structure do I need? That's going to be completely revealed in that section, which, as you can see, John Bellardo loves doing. Personally, I'm really looking forward to that as well, because I definitely need a refresher on that as well. And finally, week 6, which you've already gone through as well, some will be revision, but I want really in-depth training here. Week 6 is going to be in-depth product training. So all the things that haven't been covered yet. And I know some people might be thinking, well, shouldn't we go through that before some of the business stuff? I'm not really sure. I know a lot of you guys are here because you want to run a successful business as much as you are passionate about creating healthy lifestyles and changing lives and so forth. And up until week 6, you should already have enough product knowledge to be able to sell it effectively, and obviously should be using it yourself. Okay. Then after week 6, from week 7 onwards, what you're going to do is, now that needs to happen individually, or if you bring on board 2 or 3 people at a time, then you can do that. That's not a problem. But then what you do is, as of week 7, is that person will then still have your downline will still have a weekly catch-up with you, but they'll be funneled into your whole group that's already gone through the training. That way there's consistent ongoing accountability, where you can make sure that all questions are answered. You can give them tasks and action items, make sure that they're on track. Okay, in-depth with fruit and veggie, sure. Awesome. So that's what we're going to go through. That's a 6-week training. Now remember, these 6 training sessions we're going through now will form the 6 videos that you'll have access to, that you'll send to them. The first 3, actually, there's short, sweet 30-minute ones as well, which you already have access to. I'll post again in the group shortly. And they're the videos you're going to send them. So remember, you sign them up, you book them in, you send them the video, they watch the video, you have the training, and you go through that 6-week structure. I'm sure there's going to be questions once they go through that 6-week structure. Okay, then they get funneled into your group, or whoever's already gone through the training, they'll all be together. Okay, and they'll form your team leaders. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that they're doing the same with their downline, and they're doing the same with their downline, and so forth, and that's really the key. I just want to take John Bellardo off mute. John, is there anything else that you wanted to add to that, or say about what we just went through? Or
Jason, only that I know Alexia was bringing up what happens in terms of setting up the customer website, and I did make reference to the Getting Started PDF that was in the Getting Started email. I've subsequently been able to bring that up, and just to show you guys, I'm not sure if you can see my screen. I'm going to, Jason, can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'll just make you a presenter.
Cheers.
There you go. You should be able to share it now.
Lovely, thank you. So if everyone can see my screen now, this is the PDF, guys, that's in that Getting Started email. I'll go back to the Getting Started email just to remind you in point 3. Click this link. Remember, this is the email, guys, the text that's going to your new franchisee. It tells them to click the Getting Started PDF. When they do that, that PDF will then pop up for them. And in the first steps, you can see step 4 here for them. It tells them to go to TeamJP.org, to our TeamJP Uni, and go to Training Post 1.2. So if we just quickly go back into TeamJP Uni, and we go to our startup menu, Training Post 1.2 is our product training. The post above that, guys, 1.1 setting up, that's the first post that your new franchisee needs to go to. That's the instruction on everything that they need to know to set up their business correctly. And if I just go to that post, you'll see that there's a series of exercises within that training post that your new franchisee needs to work through, and that gets them fully set up. You'll see there is a link here at the bottom of that, setting up your customized website, which is here, tells them everything that they need to do to set a custom website. So simply guys want to know if you don't know how to do that, well, it's also coming of the it asks enter their email into the RSS. If I open it, thank you guys. Your new franchisees enter their email address in here. If I ever write a new post for Team JP, make sure that post also to the new project, but that's a good thing to do. It is and research publications, and obviously the new franchise
John, are you there? John.
So guys.
John.
Yes.
Yeah, we pretty much completely lost you and heard nothing of the last 2 or 3 minutes, so I might just stop you there.
Yes, Jason.
I might just stop you there because you can't hear anything. So we'll wrap it up. So, but thanks very much for your time, John. But I just want to leave everybody on the notes. Thanks for your time. I know that a lot of you guys, you know, I'm very generous. You know, I'm signing up lots of new franchisees and customers, and I give them to you guys. I just want to invite you guys to get to know your actual downline. So on your virtual office, you can access your genealogy, your organizational structure, and just take the time in the Facebook threads to get to know who your downline is and who's a part of your team. For those of you that are bringing on board trainers, already brought on trainers, I want to invite you to go through this entire process with all of your downline. I know Bo is starting with 3 new guys this week, so this is perfect timing for Bo, which is awesome. And for those of you guys that don't feel like you've trained your guys properly, maybe start right at the very beginning and take them through the full 6 weeks. I would suggest everyone doing that. But again, thanks everyone for your time. I'll see everybody same time next week. I'll speak to most of you during the week anyway. I'm sure you have questions. If you do, let us know, and I'll look forward to speaking to each and every one of you soon. Thanks again, John, and have a great week, guys. Thanks very much.